Hello, everybody. It's that time again. It's Wednesday night. It's 6 p.m., maybe a little early, a few seconds early, 5:59 and 20 seconds. But hey, I'm here live and I'm inviting a whole bunch of people to come here, and you're invited to come here too. All you got to do is go to my Twitter or my Facebook page, click on the link, and you're in. If you don't know how to do that, put a note in the chat and I will send you an invite. As a matter of fact, you know what I'll do? I'll just copy the link right now and put it in the chat. So if you're watching me anywhere, you should be able to see this link. There you go. Click on that link and you can come on live with me. I'm hoping a few friends of mine who I've invited over will come over. We've been having a discussion on one of my YouTube videos.
The time is 6 p.m.
Now it's 6 o'clock. Forgot to turn this off. That's my all-star node talking. Let me know what time it is because it idents every 10 minutes. Anyway, all right. Looks like we got 3 people watching. Welcome aboard. You're more than welcome to join me on the live stream if you'd like. Let me just move this window over here so it looks like I'm looking at you when I'm looking at the window. Anyway, so what the issue is there's a couple of guys who have been getting on my case. Justifiably so in some cases, because I'm not perfect and I screw up every now and then. And believe me, let me preface this by saying, number one, I do not know everything about everything. People assume because I volunteered as an AMSAT ambassador or because I do a lot of live streams with satellites that I think I'm the shit. I'm not. I'm just enjoying this hobby for what it's worth and thriving in it. I love it. I love doing satellites. You know that. If you watch my channel, you know that. So, hey, Roger stopped by. How you doing, Roger? I like Roger. He's one of my biggest supporters, and I greatly appreciate it. So anyway, people think because I talk about it and I'm authoritative about it, because I don't shoot my mouth off or get on anybody's case about it, because I don't know everything. By the way, of course, this happens right at 6 o'clock when I started talking. All of a sudden, thunder and lightning. So we may not be doing the ISS live stream because of the thunder and lightning. I might even get off early. Anyway, so people have sent me, what's the word? I don't want to misquote. I don't want to misunderstand what they're saying. But some of them know that they know more than I do and try to make assumptions about me and my setup and what I can and cannot do. And the reality is I'm willing to learn from anybody. I do not put myself up here as some all-knowing, wisdom-filled ham radio operator who can tell you everything there is to know about every type of ham radio. But I'll tell you one thing I do love, and one thing I dove into head first in the deep end without my swimmies: satellites. I love satellites. I love talking on satellites. I've had, just in 2023, I've had 2,343 QSOs on satellites. There's people that don't have that many QSOs on HF or on even 2 meter. And I did that in 2023, and I'm well on my way to passing that number this year. As of June, I think I had well over 1,300 contacts already this year. So I'm not saying I am all-knowing and I know everything. I'm not. All right. Hey, Don, you made it. Excellent. Excellent. Do me a favor. Click on the link and come on with me. We can chit-chat. I think Don's one of the guys that's been questioning whether or not my every now and then when I'm using 100 watts on the ISS, that it's overkill. And I've been trying to have a conversation with him about it, but I don't think we're getting through to each other. So I invited him on to come on live with me. I would love to have you on here, Don, so we could just talk person to person about this. What is this comment here? Iman, the difference between knowing your shit and knowing your shit. Don, we can't say that on here. YouTube will get mad at us. Don't say. I said it by mistake once, but really. So Don, click on the link so we can get on. It'll work. The link should work. It's right above you. I'll see you pop on here, and then I can click and bring you into the conversation with me. And we could just talk face to face. I would love that because I don't want any misunderstandings like we've had in the past. And hey, the Smoking Apes here. Oh, I'd only use 100 watts if I didn't have 101 watts. Ape, I love you, man. Thanks for coming. We're going to talk serious stuff here. And I got Don here. Let's bring him on. Don, hey, buddy. This is Whiskey 8 CPT, Captain Don. How you doing, Don? Say something.
Hey, how you doing?
I hear you. All right. So don't watch the stream. That'll confuse you. Just look at your
I'm
phone.
doing good. How's it sounding? Because I don't have a mic.
You sound fine. You're good. So Don, what Don and I were talking about.
Hang on, I got to get out of the stream. Hold on.
Huh?
Yeah, but I'm hearing myself in the stream. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
All right. Turn off the YouTube. Just watch it on StreamYard. I know you're on a phone. I can see that. Oops. I think he just dropped out. But wait for him to come back. Okay. Anyway, Don and I have been having a conversation about when I use 100 watts to hit the satellite. And I got a couple of things I'm going to show you guys tonight. The reason I use 100 watts when the satellite is like 0 to 5 to 10 degrees. Because in some directions from my house, there's a jungle. I don't mean a tree. I mean a freaking jungle. And I can show you guys that. You back, Don?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. So you're not hearing yourself reverbing and all that? You're good
Right,
now?
right. Yep, I'm good.
So I was trying to explain to Don, and when we were texting back and forth on the YouTube channel, first of all, I don't want any misunderstandings. I'm not pissed off. I'm not upset. Believe me, I take any advice I can get from anybody who knows more than I do, which that's a lot of people. I admit it. I don't know everything.
Probably not me, but.
Well, I don't know everything. And I'm telling you, people, and this is why I call my channel Ham Fun, because I want to have fun with this. I don't want to argue with people about this. I want to have conversations and we can both learn from it. So that's why I do this. And Don got a little upset with me a while ago when I said something to him about an all-star node, and he got mad at me. But I'm not mad at you, Don. And believe me,
Okay.
you've got a lot to offer too, and I'm willing to listen to whatever you have to say.
Okay, I appreciate you mentioning that, because that kind of stuck bad with me.
It stuck bad with me too. But I said, when I invited you on today, I said, I want to make sure you know that I'm not pissed off at you. And it's okay if we have a disagreement. I don't care. It's fine. The worst thing we could do is have disagreements and stop talking to each other, because then you're not going anywhere.
Right.
You're going to lose your life. You're going to be all by yourself in a corner somewhere. So that's why I invited you on. But Don was mentioning about me. Why don't you say it, Don? Tell me what you were telling me so I understand you completely.
Okay, so there's a lot of passes where I hear you calling out, and I call and I answer you, and you don't hear me. And what I think it is, well, there's two things. First of all, I think you're 14 feet above sea level. So like the whole United States is like I'm at 640 feet above sea level. So you got land in the way. Just that's your first obstacle there. So I think when you use 100 watts, if you're not hearing anybody and you call out, there's lots of people making QSOs, but your antenna receive is being blocked maybe by land, if you're pointing up toward the US. So I'll answer you and you won't answer me back. And then somebody will start making a QSO with somebody, and then you'll call out again and you block that QSO. So that's why I was saying I try not to call out at all unless I can hear people, because I start hearing it at 3 degrees for some reason, but most of the time I don't start transmitting until about 8 degrees, because I know I can reach it at 8 degrees. So that's, you follow what I'm saying there?
Yes. And I got a response to that too.
Okay.
You are in Michigan, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The other guy that was mentioning this stuff to me, CYC, you know who it is.
Yeah.
He is in Missouri. All right. When we're on a descending pass where it's coming from the north going to the south, you guys are hearing that satellite long before I hear it. I
Right.
do not even hear it yet. The footprint's not even over me yet.
Yeah.
And if you look to the north, I want to show you a view from my antenna. All right. Here's my antenna. I'm going to put this on the screen. All right. Notice where it's pointing. North is 25 degrees to the right of that. So
Okay.
if I turn the antenna to the right 25 more degrees, you see those trees? That's not just a tree. That's a jungle. It's a freaking jungle that's half a mile wide behind me. All
Okay.
right. So I don't get through that when the satellite's low. I won't even get through that jungle. It won't even get through. That's why I start at 100 watts. Sometimes I don't start at 100. I start at 75, depending on where it's coming from. I'll start at 75 watts. Now, what you were describing about me transmitting, I don't hear the people you hear. For instance, the other day, I was on a pass, CYC, who has an absolutely amazing setup. His setup is much better than mine.
God, he sounds
I
great.
can see that. Those antennas are like $700 each. I don't have $1,400 just for antennas. Then he's got the super expensive preamps on it too. So God bless him. I think it's great that he has that setup. So he hears me all the time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When I'm pointing my antenna north or northeast or west, that whole area has trees, a jungle behind me. It's not going to even get through that unless I boost the wattage. Now, I don't start calling CQ until I'm hearing people. Now, the other thing, the other side of the coin, you guys are transmitting and receiving long before I get on the bird because I'm all the way down here in Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing people from Cuba, Panama, that you're not hearing. You're not hearing these people. When I said the other day, as a matter of fact, Rob put this video on his channel of me saying, hey, can everybody just make a QSO? And I could hear, he's not hearing the people I'm hearing. I'm hearing people constantly giving their call signs. Nobody's receiving. Nobody's acknowledging anybody. Everybody's just shouting out their call sign in grid square. And that's why I said that. But he wasn't hearing that on his radio, which makes sense because he's so far further north than I am. I'm hearing people south of me and close to me. That's
So did that pass start from the south then?
No, it started from the north. So he was making QSOs with people, and there were people by me who were calling out long before they heard anything. And here's the other thing we got to deal with. And you know this is true. I could do it with a Baofeng. Yeah, you can. Everybody and their brother with a technician license grabs a Baofeng and an Arrow 2 and thinks they're going to be talking to an astronaut.
Right.
Yeah, you might get lucky and do it one time, but it ain't going to be reliable. What I do, what Rob does, what you do, we know we're going to get the satellite. If we want it, we're going to get it. There's no way around it because we know exactly where it is. We're using the sat box or we're using something else to know exactly where it is. We're not the newbies.
Right.
So we make many, many more QSOs than a guy with a Baofeng. And I've heard this too. And I even heard Josh say it on Ham Radio Crash Course. Oh, you could use 2 Baofengs to talk to a satellite. You could, but it really doesn't work because when you transmit on the 2 meter, especially on the ISS, you transmit on the 2 meter, it desenses the 70 centimeter. You don't hear anything on a 70 centimeter.
Well, I got a video where I tried that. I actually put a filter on, I think the receive, trying to get, because I wanted to get full duplex while I'm moving around that, handheld antenna. Right. And I must need a filter on both the receive and the transmit because it was not working. So,
and that's what I try to explain to people, especially these new guys that say, "Oh, I spent $17 on each one of these Baofengs. It works great." No, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
Yeah. What I like to tell people, because you don't want to discourage people from trying, because that's what gets them to catch the bug. So I'll tell them, if you want to try to use a Baofeng with a rubber duck antenna, listen and listen and listen and to a few passes until you can see where you're actually receiving it really, really well. And then during that part of the pass, try to answer somebody. And that might work. And you're not going to interrupt people. But you don't realize I use 5 watts with that Arrow antenna. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but we got to watch the time too, because I want to try to work this pass too. I don't know if you watch any of my videos, but I'm using 5 watts and I'm getting, I just worked SO121, which is like a 0.4 watt output satellite the other night and got two
Right.
QSOs on it. And so that 5 watts gets out there and you can make a contact, but you got to time when you're doing it to when you're receiving the signal the best. So I don't want to
Right.
discourage people from trying, because that's what gets you to get the bug and spend more money. You know how that goes.
Well, I'll tell you, here we got Eric. Eric is saying that doesn't make sense. You're all listening to the same repeater. Yes, we are. But the repeater is moving at 17,000 miles an hour. When Rob gets it, when Don gets it, they're getting it before I do. I can't hear it yet. I can't hear the calls because it's below the horizon for me still. No more proof that the Earth is round, just in case anybody's wondering. There's a few people out there don't believe it. By the way, I got my pass on the ISS starts at 6:25. So I got at least 6 minutes before it gets here, but you're going to get it sooner. This is more proof that the Earth is
I'm going to
round.
get, I thought it was coming from the south today.
No, it's
Oh,
coming from
I got
northwest.
okay, 7 minutes, 34 seconds. Okay.
Okay. What do you time it based on the angle it's in the air or when it crosses the horizon?
I start listening when it hits the horizon because I can hear it at 3 degrees. Even through all the trees and the buildings and stuff here, I can start hearing it at 3 degrees, and then usually by the
Well,
time it's at 8 degrees, I can
where
work it.
you
So
are, it's going to be to your southwest is where you're going to pick it up. To me, it's going to be to my northwest is where I'm going to get it.
mine's showing. Yeah, here. Let me show you what I'm. Oh, can I flip my camera? I don't know if I
Yeah.
can. I've never
Go ahead.
used it before. Where do you flip your camera at? How do you do it?
Not sure.
More?
Well, just turn the camera around. Just
I
turn
don't know. Then I'm not seeing. Well, let me see. I don't know. Tell me when you can see the screen.
I can see the screen. It's a little blown out, but if you move closer, it should be all right.
I can't
Okay,
get
I
too
see
much.
it. I
So
see it.
it's showing 19 degrees max. It's starting in the west, just a little bit northwest, but mostly west, and then
Right.
it's going down to the south. So yeah, and that's 6 minutes and 20 seconds. That's on my TYT. But I think what Eric was trying to say there, I wanted to comment on that real quick.
Go
So
ahead.
if okay, let's say I'm hearing people making QSOs, and you're hearing the same people.
Right.
Then if you're hearing somebody from Cuba, we should hear them too because we're in the footprint.
Yes, unless he's out of the footprint before. Well, he'll be in the footprint longer with me than he will be with you. You'll lose him first. But
Right.
depending on the strength of his radio, I don't know. I know,
Yeah.
like you were mentioning, because I'm putting out 100 watts at times. I admit it.
Yeah.
I believe me. Sometimes I'm streaming, I'm talking, I'm listening, and I got a million things going on, and I might forget to turn my power down. So I get it. I totally understand that. But the reality is, if I'm here in Cuba, you should hear him too.
Yeah.
I agree. You're in the same footprint, but I'll hear him before I hear you. I'm sorry, I'll hear you before I hear him. In other words, as the pass is coming down, as the footprint crosses over you. By the way, everybody, we're talking to Don W8CPT. Him and I are both into satellites. You also do weather stuff too. Are you still doing the weather pictures?
Yeah, I did a few of them. I got into it, but I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. But I mean, he's a big aficionado of satellites, just like I am. We both love doing it. And we're trying to explain why sometimes I'm hearing people he's not hearing and vice versa. Like the people north of you, you'll hear them and you'll be making QSOs with them. But I'm telling you, like, what's his name? Rob got all over my case and even commented to me when I said that can people start responding to QSOs? And I watched his video when I said that, and none of the people I was hearing, he was hearing. And I don't know why. He should. But he was in Missouri, so he's closer to me. And
Yeah.
you're in Michigan. So, I sit there and I go, yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not a machine. I make mistakes. I'm not taking credit for anything that I shouldn't take credit for. And I'm not trying to be Mr. Know-it-all. I'm trying to do it right. I'm just trying to, yes, I just repeated, Roger, who the guest was. That's Don. And Roger, you can come on too. Roger's a good guy from down South Central Florida.
Ah,
But,
okay. Yeah, we got 3 minutes and 30 seconds according to my timer. But no, it's
yeah, go ahead.
it's just weird that I've noticed that too. I've watched some other videos, Rob's or even yours, and I'll be like, man, I didn't hear any of them people. And but I heard other people, it's strange how it's almost like there's 2 repeaters or 3 repeaters up there, and they're all going on the same output channel. Because I do agree with you. You watch other people's videos from the same passes, and you're like, wow, I never even heard that person. And
Right.
that's unless it could be that I was keying up when that person and they overpowered me. You know what I mean? Because I don't have
That's a possibility.
full duplex.
Yeah, when you're when I'm sending 100 watts and you're at 10 watts, I'm going to knock you out.
Right.
That's what's going to happen. So that's why it's important to use only the minimum wattage you need to make the QSO. There have been times I dropped down to 5 watts and I hear everybody fine. What really scared me after I put the tower up, you saw my tower. After I put that up to the south, literally 2 degrees above the horizon, I'm talking on the ISS repeater. And I'm like, oh my God, that blows my mind that I can do that. And I added that other antenna that I got from a guy in Ormond Beach. He built it, and it's a 70 centimeter antenna. Works great. By the way, I am looking at I have 4 minutes until the ISS rises by me.
I got 1 minute and 52 seconds.
All right. You want to work it while you're streaming, or can't you do that? You can do it right now while you're streaming if you want.
Yeah. Are you going to work it though? Because it's going to be kind of confusing if we stay on here.
Well, what I'll do is I won't work it. How about that? I won't work it. I'll just follow along and listen on the radio.
Well, why don't you try to make a contact with me if you hear me though? That'd be kind of neat.
All right. Get the headphones
I'll go
out.
outside right now.
Okay. You can leave the thing streaming, or you're gonna good. You're gonna take the camera outside with you. Excellent.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me see. Can you guys hear that hiss? I had an issue with my radio. You can hear the hiss now. Okay, so that's working. Yeah, I had an issue with my radio because I had changed my OBS to modify my microphone so it sounded better. And I put in compression and I put in something else, a limiter. And that was cutting out the audio from the radio this morning when I was trying to do an ISS pass. But I've since remedied that. You should not have that problem now. All right.
So this is the TYT UV390 with OpenGD77 firmware on it. It automatically tracks with Doppler. So all I got to worry about is pointing the antenna on. Here's my antenna.
Right. Good old Arrow 2.
The Arrow 2, yep.
Yep.
So I got to get in the shade here and see.
Yeah, my Wouxun radios are the same way.
It's terrible. I even got it yellow with a black background, thinking I'd see it better. And
I found out on my Wouxun, I make the background white and make the letters black, and I'm able to see it better.
I might try that. All right, so it rose. So I got to see. I won't get it right away.
I'll listen and see if I hear you. I won't put the audio from the radio through the stream, and this way I'll just listen to the speaker. Hey, John, welcome to the live stream. Iman, welcome aboard. OpenGD77. I got to look into that. That looks like an interesting thing. Hey, Ape, are you still here? Ape, are you still in the stream? Tell me what you think. We got Iman. Iman's here from Northern Ireland. Hey, welcome aboard, my man. And we got Roger Weed. Roger Weed is still here. And the Smoking Ape came by today. And yes, Don is using his HT. I don't hear anything yet on the satellite. I'm looking at the waterfall. He's going to hear the satellite first because he's further north. He's up in Michigan. So even though the satellite is between me and him, he's going to hear it first. There he goes. Yeah, he's starting to pick people up. I'm not getting anything yet.
Kilo, Juliet 7, Charlie, Oscar, November, was it? Whiskey 8, Charlie, Papa Tango, Echo November 8, 2, QSL.
I'll let you guys follow along. You can watch the radio and see if you see the waterfall.
Whiskey 8, Charlie, Papa Tango, Echo November
Now
8, 2.
notice, he was hearing the satellite and talking on it before I had the chirp. So the chirp just went off on my chat box, which tells me it's rising by me now. So you saw there was like a 5-minute delay there from the time he first started hearing the satellite to when I first heard it rising above the horizon. More proof the Earth is round. Hey Iman, is that the radio you use too? I'd have to try that radio out. I'm not hearing anything on the satellite
Charlie,
yet.
Papa Tango, Echo November 8, 2.
If you look at my screen here, you'll see that my antenna has moved.
You?
It did, right? Yeah.
Kilo, Charlie, come again? Got switch arms.
So now you hear Don's making contacts. He hears people. I'm not hearing anything yet.
November 9, Juliet Romeo Kilo, Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 8, 2, QSL.
I hope I hear him because when I hear Don, I want to try to make a QSO with him. Get him in my book. I think we have made contact before.
Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 8, 2.
Don is the only one I want to make contact with on this pass. Now,
Whiskey
right
Alpha 4 on Friday night.
degrees above
Whiskey
the
8, Charlie
horizon to
Papa
my
Tango, Echo
north-northwest.
November 8, 2, QSL.
Mike Charlie, Echo Mike 29, Echo Mike 2, Echo Mary 55, Hotel Mike Romeo, Echo Mike 63.
I don't hear any of these people on my pass. I'm starting to see stuff on the waterfall, but I still don't hear
Charlie
anybody.
Papa Tango, Echo November 8,
So it
2.
doesn't matter what wattage I put on. It doesn't matter because I'm just now starting to see little clicks on my waterfall. If you look at my waterfall there, you're starting to see people there. But I can't make anything out yet.
Charlie Papa Tango, Echo
So
November
right
8.
now, the satellite is only 12 degrees above the horizon by me, and I'm still not hearing them. I am seeing the signal.
Echo Mike 64 again, please.
I'm seeing the signal on my screen. That's some kind of interference. I don't know what that is, and we got to figure it out before I.
Kilo Oscar 4, Golf, Oscar Romeo, was it? Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 8, 2, QSL. Golf,
Now
Echo Romeo,
just now
QSL.
starting to hear people at 18 degrees above the horizon.
Getting low for me.
All right, Don, listen to me. I'm going to try to call you. Kilo
What's that?
Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. I'm not hitting the bird yet. I did not.
I'm not hearing you. Try again.
Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. The timing might be off, Don, but I'm trying. I'm seeing people. I'm not hearing them clear right now.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 82.
You keep
And
making
4
so
UNQ, Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 82, QSL. Everybody's keying up.
Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Whiskey 8. Whiskey 8. Whiskey 8. Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, KO4, PDI. Now, him I hear. I heard
I'm not
him.
hearing it all, Mike.
I'm going to try to find a blank spot and jump in there.
So Mike 63.
Kilo Oscar 4, KO4, PDI, Echo Lima 99. You didn't get me that time.
8, Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 82.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, KO4, PDI. Ah! It dropped.
WB 2T, was it? Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa Tango, Echo November 82, QSL.
Kilo.
All right, I'm not going to get it no more. I'm at 5 degrees. So go ahead, Mike, if you still got it.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Papa. I got an issue right now. Something's going on. I'm not triggering the repeater. I don't know why. I'm keying the mic and it's literally overhead right now. It's
Oh, wow.
right now,
Yeah, I didn't hear you at all.
Yeah, I didn't hear you either, but I did hear some other people. Whiskey Bravo 2. What was this called? I didn't put a QSO in, but yeah, I did hear some other people on there. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I might have an issue with my radio because I'm keying the mic and I'm not triggering the repeater. I don't know if it's because there's so many people trying to get in because it's constant. It's constant people right now.
I don't know how much of a lag there is on this, but every time you were calling out, somebody else was strong into it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that might be it.
But now I know you're in Florida and it's real rainy. Did you wrap your coax ends and all that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to check because I had an issue with my HF end-fed half wave. I didn't wrap it and water got in the coax and all of a sudden my antennas didn't work and I learned real quick you need to wrap.
Iman says, valiant effort, Don. Good try.
Yeah, I don't know if I even made a contact that time. That was those passes that go to the south are bad for me. I don't know why, but they're always bad.
Yeah, and that was a pretty high pass for me. That was like 80 degrees. So I should have had it, no problem. But
yeah, you should have definitely had it. That's weird.
I don't know what the heck the problem was. Yeah, it was an 80.3 degree pass. Now I will say this: it's super cloudy, and there was some thunder in the area. Luckily, not at this moment. The satellite's still up there. It's still at 17 degrees to the southeast. I could probably get it if I turn my antenna around because when it's crowded, it's very hard to make contacts. And I was I'll tell you this though, on the ISS, when it gets low, I can't hit it unless I got at least 25 watts. Directly overhead, no problem. 5 watts, I can do it.
Yeah.
But once it starts going down and it's down below 10 degrees, I have to boost the wattage up a little bit. Otherwise,
I wonder what's going on though with your rig. You think it's your radio? You got the PL tone right?
Yeah.
Because I know earlier you were doing SO50 and you were switching the PL tone to activate it. So it's definitely on the right
from the southwest from the Pacific. So the last people that would have heard it would be in Hawaii. So when it's coming up, and I always put 74.4 when it's coming up over the Pacific like that. I always
Yeah.
send it out first, and just a couple of seconds, and then I go back to 67, and it works. But I mean, this is what we do. We tinker, we experiment, we try different
Right.
things. You know, I think it was Whiskey Bravo 2 Tango Quebec Tango was the one. Oh, that's you. No, Don. Was that you? What's your call sign? I put your call sign.
WATPT.
Oh yeah.
You
I
might
don't know
have
who to-
typed it because you were calling me out to me.
Yeah,
I
I
do that.
typed it in there. I typed the wrong thing in there, and the guy's first name was Don too, so I left it. I
Oh,
just deleted it. Anyway,
well, you can watch this over, right?
yeah.
Later.
Oh yeah, this will
Okay.
be on my channel. Go to the live tab, and you'll be able to see it.
Oh wait, shit.
What?
Oh, okay. I'm trying to see if okay, there I can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Did
Because
you figure out how to turn the camera around?
no. I wasn't seeing any of the chat, and now I can see the chat.
Yeah, Iman, this satellite doesn't tumble. It's the ISS. It flies straight and level, as opposed to every other satellite in the world that tumbles, like IO-117, which is the bane of my existence. I hate that satellite. Every time it comes up, I try to get it. I sit here for an hour going, why is it not digipeating my call sign? I don't understand. And then sometimes, like as soon as it rises, my signal quality shoots up to 90%, and I hit it. I transmit a CQ, and bam, it works, and I get it back. I'm like, yes, it's like when you play golf. You know, every time you go out to play golf, you get one stroke that you look like Tiger Woods, and
Right.
that's what makes you keep going back because you got that
Yep.
one stroke. I'm going to do that every time. No, you're not. You're not going to do it every time. It's just like a little tease to get you to keep coming back, and
Right.
that's what it is with IO-117. Sometimes it just instantly works. And then sometimes I sit here for an hour going CQ, 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 and nothing happens. And it just
Right.
frustrates me to no end. But
Yeah,
as a matter
that
of fact,
IO-117. I've got an arrow that I got mounted on a Star Trek rotor that's just like this arrow antenna, except it
Right.
doesn't have the duplexer, and
Right.
and I can hit it if it's straight overhead in like the middle of the path. That's it. And
Yeah.
people don't like you to do that because then once your call sign goes out, everybody tries to answer you because you're somebody new, and then you lose the satellite, and they're still trying to call out to you. It's crazy.
Iman, that's a
Tiger
good
whoops.
one. You're more of a Tiger Whoops. Yeah, that's me. I'm a Tiger Whoops. I tell people the first time I ever played golf, I played on Overpeck Park in Leonia, New Jersey, and I shot 90. And people looked at me like, you shot 90 on your first try? I said, yeah, it was only 9 holes. But I shot 90.
That's crazy.
It took me 90 strokes to do 9 holes. I was like, oh my God, maybe this isn't for me. But yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you came on, Don. I'm glad we got to chat about this. If anybody's got any questions for us, or if you would like to join us, the link is at the top of the chat. You can get up there and you can jump right in and get live on the screen with us. Don, I appreciate you coming. I'm so happy you came because I don't want you to think I'm mad at you.
Hey,
I
thanks
know.
for having me.
And by the way, I got my All-Star node working, and Brad, N8PC
Okay.
helped. We went setting by setting, and what
Oh,
it was is
yeah.
where I registered online, I had put an IP address where I wasn't supposed to put an IP address. That's why it wasn't working.
Oh,
And he
see,
figured
and that's
that
what's so
out.
hard about trying to help. Yeah, help somebody over the phone if you can't see what they're doing. It's just it's
Right.
terrible because it's. But I've talked to Brad. He's helped me out a couple times too. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Brad forgot more about Apple All-Star nodes than I'll ever know. He's really good at it.
Exactly.
And now that they came out with a new version of All-Star, I'm like, no, I got this one working. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to break it.
Well, I
give me an
actually
open spot. Any day
so
I
tried.
can program an open spot. But when you're trying to do an All-Star Sherry Pie, oh my God. It was so many stupid little things.
Oh,
and then, have you tried this Mesh-tastic stuff?
Yeah, there's quite a few of us around here that bought those little things, and it's like they don't have very much range. It's not, to me, it's not worth it unless you get some kind of a parabolic antenna that like a
Unless everybody in
satellite.
your town has one, it makes no sense to me. But hey,
Yeah, it's more for if the crap hits the fan, you got a way to text message still. that doesn't rely on
Doesn't rely on cell towers or anything.
internet. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
So
Paul, welcome to the party. You're late. It's okay. We go on. I go on till 7, so we got another 20 minutes. So, Paul, if you got any questions about satellites or anything, Don's here. I'm here. Come on and ask. We're here for you.
But I'm concerned. I wonder what's wrong with yours. You got to figure that out, man.
I think on that
heard
pass,
it.
I think on that pass it was just super busy. I think that's what it was, and I couldn't get in. I think that's what the issue was, because I would key my mic and I'd still be seeing other people talking and I'm not hitting the repeater. I'm talking and I'm not seeing it come back to me. So that's telling me that I'm not in the repeater. I think I am, or I should be, but I'm not getting in because there was so many people on that pass. You heard it. I mean, that pass was crowded.
It was busy. I ended up making, I think, 1 Q solo, didn't I? So I was getting in with 5 watts. You definitely should have been getting in.
Yeah. Well, I had it at 50 watts was the lowest I went on that pass, but I couldn't get in. And I said, you know what? It's okay. I got so many QSOs on the ISS. That's the thing. I wish the astronauts would get more involved. I mean, I know they got so much to do, but ever since Kjell Lindgren was super active, I got him 5 times back in 22 to 23. I got him 5 times. And then Woody Hoberg was pretty active. I got him twice. Once was
I got him 4 times.
Yeah. And and I talked to my buddy John, N2FYA. I'm sure you know John from Connecticut.
Oh yeah, I know John.
I talk to him all the time on the satellites. John posted that he had crew active, and I looked at it and I went, wait a minute, he's the only one that said crew active. So I got in touch with him. I said, and he sent me the audio tape. And it was like at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's like just him and the astronaut having a little rag chew. And I was like, damn, that never happens to me. Every time I try to get it, it's so busy. So I guess I got to learn how to stay up way late at night because they work on Zulu time.
You sure that was late at night? Because I remember that pass and I heard him and he was saying NAISS instead of NA1SS. And then
No. That wasn't John. John got an NA1SS on the audio he sent me. There was another guy that was here and talking to an astronaut saying it was NAISS. And I went, wait a minute, that ain't NAISS. That's not their call sign, you know.
But it was. It was, because John waited till they were out over the ocean since he's right on the coast. And he asked them, he called out to them again and they answered when they were way over the ocean. And instead he asked what kind of radio they had and they told him right away. Asked him a couple questions that only the astronauts would know. So he just read it wrong. The one must have looked like an eye to him, where they have it posted in front of the radio or something.
ARISS is the organization that organizes the radios on the International Space Station. I've actually met the guys that design the radios, and I actually saw not a replica, a duplicate of what they have on the ISS. It's amazing. And if you go back in my videos, last year, ARISS had a symposium. It was the 40th anniversary of them and of ham radio on the International Space Station. It was the 40th anniversary. And they had a big thing down at Kennedy Space Center. It was expensive to go to, but they gave you breakfast every day and they gave you lunch every day. And the last night we had dinner under the Saturn V in the Saturn V building, which was really cool. It was great to meet them. And I met Frank Bauer, the president of ARISS, and Randy Bergen is the guy that designed the radio. And they had that radio there along with the antennas. The ISS has multiple antennas, and you're going to die when I tell you the antennas were designed by a guy in Orlando, and they were made with tape measures from Home Depot, if you can believe that. on the ISS.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And there's 4 antennas, and they're spaced out around the ISS so that no matter what the orientation of the ISS is, they'll always have an antenna facing the Earth. So a really cool setup they got. And I talked to Randy about it and all that. It was great. What do we got?
I can't see the chat, so you're going to have to follow them. I seen into it real quick, and I seen that somebody said they heard me on that pass, but that was all I seen.
TJ Tyler, you caught me. I put a mask on there so you can't see my power settings because I'm tired of people commenting on it. Because I actually really, you think I'm kidding? I'll show you. I'll show you what it looks like. Let me switch the screen. I'll show you exactly how that looks. Let's get the side by side. No, we'll just do me. All right. So there you go. You're not seeing the power, right? And watch. Where is it in here? Oh, I gotta go here. Hold on. Here. There's the power, and now it's gone.
You know, I do have a comment on the power as far as because like I said, I have that Kenwood TS 2000.
Right.
I've tried using 60, 70 watts, and then I've tried using 20 watts, and I actually get better results with 20 watts. So whenever I pump it up, it's almost like I don't get as many people hearing me for some reason. I don't know if that means anything.
Well, you know what the funny thing is, and this is something that people don't understand. The difference between 20 watts and 100 watts is minuscule. There's not that big a difference. Now, if you go from 20 watts to 500 watts, yeah, there's a bigger difference. There's a much bigger gain. But from 20 to 100, like when I do FT8, I used to do it at 100 watts all the time, and somebody told me that's not good for your radio. So I crank it down to about 80 watts, the max that it puts out. When I do whisper, I send out like a milliwatt, and I get all over the world. Have you ever tried the whisper mode on WSJTX?
No, I haven't tried it. No.
What's nice about whisper mode is you can you put the radio on the lowest wattage. So maybe I have the radio at 2 watts. Maybe I turn the power all the way down to 2 watts. Then I go over to WSJTX and I turn the power down there too on that slider on the right that you adjust your ALC with. I turn it way down, like 40 dB down. So I'm putting out a watt from the radio and I got it 40 dB down. So maybe I'm putting out 60 milliwatts, right?
Okay.
And I get all over the world. I did that the other day because I rearranged one of my antennas. I wanted to make sure I was still getting out. And I was getting Antarctica, I was getting the Arctic, and I was getting all of Europe, Russia, the whole hemisphere I was hitting on it.
I do a lot of HF, and I actually made, it was about a week ago at night at like 2 a.m. I was getting Russia, I was getting Greece. I mean, it's crazy, man. But yeah, another thing too is that when you're doing FT8, you can go to what the heck is it? PSK Reporter.
Right.
And it shows you where you're getting out too. And that's a good way to know. And if you turn your wattage down there too, you could still see that you get out pretty well. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I wanted to show this to you. Let's see. I don't want FT8. What do I want? Hold on. I'm gonna get a screen here. Here it is. So we go back to this page. There's my mask. I changed the image. Let's go
it's
here.
So small. Let's see. Does it get bigger if I turn it sideways? Okay, it got a little bigger. Okay.
So all right, so take the mask away. All right, so now just so you know, here's Michigan. Up here is Michigan. And Missouri is over here, and I'm way the hell down here.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And you're only at 14 feet above sea level too. That's a big disadvantage.
Right. But that's because it's between me and the satellite, when it rises from the north, I got the Appalachian Mountains, Yep. So and I'm never going to get
northwest. You've got the Rocky Mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out and show people, what that looks like.
Yeah. If there's another.
You heard me. Let's see.
The output power for the entire pass, so a super strong signal will reduce the power for others.
Yes, that's true. I agree, Eric. And what do you say here? Power is very important on linear transponders. Yeah, a strong signal will cause all the other signals to drop because the output power is fixed. Yes, that's true. That's the difference between linear and FM birds. And we got David here. I run pile-ups with no problem contesting and doing POTA, but this satellite stuff is really fast. I have to record it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I try to explain this to people. The first time I made a satellite contact. I believe it was AO91 when it used to be Mr. Reliable. It used to be on all the time. And I'm holding my Arrow 2 in the driveway. It's 95 freaking degrees outside. I'm sweating like a pig, and I got an HT in my hand. And I say, KO4 PDI Echo Lima 99. It was not full duplex, nothing. And somebody repeated my call sign back to me. Well, you would have thought I just won the lottery. I was giddy. I was like, holy crap, somebody heard me. It worked. Oh, my God. And I went nuts. And then KB2M, who is not exactly the most tactful man on the face of the earth, but he knows his stuff when it comes to satellites, and he excoriated me. Oh, my God. He got on my case because I was stepping on people because I got to get the bird. I got to get the bird. I got to get my QSO. That's how you get in the beginning. But in reality, just chill. It's coming around again. You'll get it tomorrow or you'll get it later today. It's okay to be calm and just make your QSOs. That's why, like, a lot of times I might listen to a pass and only call. I probably won't even call CQ sometimes. What I do on linear satellites is I call CQ. At first, I go on it with the sat box. So I'm right in the center of the frequency, right, of the bandwidth. Everybody's right in the center of the bandwidth when the satellite first comes up. The first thing I do is tune off the center. I move up or down to an empty space where I don't hear anything. Then I call CQ. And then I just wait until somebody picks me up. And it works. It actually works really well. Yeah. So the secret is, and I explained this before, Don, you probably heard me say this before. FM satellites are like Black Friday at Kmart, and everybody wants a Cabbage Patch doll for their kid, and they're all standing by the door waiting for him to open. And the minute they open that door, all of 300 people rush through that one door, and they're knocking each other over and they're tripping over each other. That's an FM satellite. On a linear satellite, imagine that same Kmart has doors all across the front of the building. Everybody can go in at the same time because you have enough room for everybody to get through. And that's the important thing, to understand the difference. And sometimes on FM birds, like that last pass of the ISS, I didn't really want to push it because I didn't want to confuse you because you were trying to make calls. Yeah. But I could tell I'm keying my mic and it's not coming back. Because if I key my mic and it connects, as soon as I talk, I see my voice on the coming back. But if I don't hear that, I know I didn't get in.
And that's another thing too. I got a Kenwood TS2000, so I don't have a waterfall at my house when I'm using my rotor. And I only hear myself coming back maybe in the middle of the pass and a little bit on each side of it. The rest of the time I'm making QSOs, but I'm not hearing myself come back because that's full duplex.
Are you talking about a linear or a FM satellite?
FM. So the FM, I even though I've got full duplex and I've got that Arrow antenna, running on the Star Trek rotor, I only hear myself for the middle portion of the pass, and then the rest of the time I'm still making QSOs, but I can't hear myself back. So I found on FM birds, I don't always hear myself back, and I still can make QSOs, but obviously on the linears, you have to hear yourself back or nobody's hearing you.
Well, the reason I asked is on the linears, you have to adjust your receive incremental tuning. All right.
Yeah, and I do that. Yeah.
And, I stress this with people. When you're doing your RIT tuning, don't go, trying to hear yourself, because you're just interrupting everybody else's QSO. What you do is just say your call sign in grid square and adjust it as you say that until you hear yourself. Or when you get close, you'll learn in time. You'll learn if your pitch sounds a little low, turn it to the right. If your pitch sounds a little high, turn it to the left until you hear your voice similar to what you think it sounds like, instead of like high pitch like that or low pitch like that. You're going to hear it.
And that's my problem because I have to actually tune mine with SAT PC32. So I got to go into the cat control on there, and and you could save your settings, but it seems like every time I work the satellite again, it's off a little bit, and I gotta play around. So I'll just say CQ satellite, this is Whiskey 8 Charlie Papa Tango, and I make sure I'm on a frequency that somebody else isn't calling out on. And and then usually somebody hears me and they're trying to answer me, and I'm not tuned in yet, and I'm hearing and it's like, oh man, and then I try to get it tuned in. It's tough. The linears are tough, but yeah, the FM.
I'm a glutton for punishment.
I would seriously though, Mike. Mike, I would seriously try. Like,
Oh, what happened to you? You dropped off, Don. All right, we lost Don there for a second. All right, so Eric here is saying that many ops don't use RIT on linears. People that manually track Doppler have to find themselves on the downlink. Yeah, Don's back. Okay, we got him back.
I
Yeah,
hit a wrong button.
that's all right. Eric's just talking here. Some people don't use RIT on linears. I would highly suggest using RIT because you're trying to line up. I don't care what you're using. If you're using a SAT box to adjust your Doppler or using SAT PC32 to adjust your Doppler, you have to try and get your two signals close to each other. Otherwise, you're not going to have much luck with that. So
Right,
I would.
I wonder if he's saying that some people use two different radios, and what's that? Sean Kuzco or something? He has a demonstration where he's got two different radios, and he's tuning them by hand when he's roving.
Kutzko.
So maybe that's
Sean Kutzko.
Yeah.
KX9X. Yeah, I know Sean. He's the reason I do this because I learned most of this from him, and on all his videos he did on DX Engineering. He's not into it now. He's still doing satellites. He just went to Hawaii last week, and he made a bunch of QSOs from Hawaii on satellites. Got Japan and California from Hawaii. So yeah, he was doing good. But yeah, so Eric here is saying that's why you might hear them whistle. They're scrolling through the pass in the band, and it's easy to find themselves. Yes, I get that, Eric. On HF, that works great. But on satellites, all that whistling and everything is just interrupting other people who are trying to make a QSO. It's just adding QRM. So I highly suggest you don't whistle. Just say your call sign and grid square. Listen to yourself and try to do it that way. Yes, people are running dual 818s, I think 807s plus 705s. Oh, I got word for you on that. Oh, my buddy Alan's calling me. He should come on the live feed. So anyway, yeah. And the satellite mode on the 9700, it's really funny. I never use the satellite mode on my 9700 ever. I never use it. I don't use it. I use the SAT box, which does everything for me. But I do know you can use the SAT mode on the 9700 in order to make contacts on the satellites. That's true. And let's see, what else? We got that. Oh, Alan's texting me. So
yeah, I think what Eric is saying is if you just have two radios connected, and you're out in the field, they're actually tuning the frequency to hear themselves, and then they got to turn both of them to keep on the Doppler. So that's probably why some people are whistling to find themselves real quick, and then they could start calling out. But yeah, I don't do it that way, so I don't know for sure. But as far as the ISS and the FM birds, Mike, just try it 25 watts. Just see if you get any different results.
I will. I never go below 25 normally, but I can when it's directly overhead. It's no problem. I can go 5 watts when it's directly overhead. I will say this on the Alan's going to join us. That's Ziggy. Anybody doesn't know who Alan is? I sent him the link. I hope he comes on. Anyway, he's not into satellites, but he knows his antennas. The man, his YouTube channel is 75 ohm ham. Go check it out.
I've seen it. I might have seen it. I went through one day and just started adding anybody that had anything to do with ham radio. So.
Yeah, that's what I do. I follow everybody. And you know what happens as you start going to ham fest and stuff like that? You meet these guys and you find out you're all just regular guys trying to make contacts and do your thing and have fun with ham radio. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I appreciate you coming on, Don, so that this way we let bygones be bygones and we're good. And I'm going to experiment.
That's good.
Oh, by the way, Mike Satteretti from CSN suggested to me getting rid of the aluminum crossarm I use on my Yaesu rotor and put in a fiberglass crossarm. So I just bought a 93-inch long fiberglass crossarm that's going to go onto the Yaesu rotor. That's going to keep the antennas really super far apart. And I'm also going to eliminate preamps because I think they're just causing me issues. So I'm going to get rid of them. And the guy I bought this antenna from suggested that I said to him, do you use preamps on your satellite stuff? He does EME and everything. And that big long antenna I have, that big long one, it's 12 feet long. He says, I only use the in the radio. I use the in the radio preamp. That's it. That's all
I use on my Kenwood too.
KG2MM. Sorry you're late. 5 demerits there for you, Mike. That's Mike. He's from,
I was just thinking of something else. Oh, now does your antenna turn for polarization or are they fixed?
They're fixed.
Okay, because that
was the other thing that Mike had suggested to me. He said, put them horizontal polarized. Now, here's the issue with that. Vertically polarized, I can hit repeaters, 2-meter repeaters here, 60 miles from my house.
Yeah.
If I change it to horizontal, I'm probably not going to be able to get any of those repeaters anymore. And
I wonder if you can just add elements to each one. I know that'd be tough, but add elements so you have both vertical and horizontal.
I think there's 2 issues here. The 12-foot antenna I put up there is so precise that if the rotor isn't as precise as that antenna, I'm going to miss stuff. So I was actually thinking of putting the little short 4-foot 70-centimeter antenna back up on the tower and trying that one again.
I'd see if I get a shot. Yeah, because I
did better with IO117 with that little antenna than I do with this big one.
How were you able to see my antenna? Because I couldn't see that video at all when I was working it. Yeah. Probably not. Huh? I'm constantly spinning that for polarization, and a lot of times it's the 2-meter is vertical instead of horizontal, but it switches in one pass. So that could be part of the issue too. Is the polarization is messing with you too. A good mask LNA will perform much better.
Yeah, he's talking about a preamp on the mast. Well, actually, those 2 preamps that are up there are they're on the mast, and they get powered from the 9700. Puts out the 12 volts to power them on the coax. That's how they get powered. But I've noticed that all I get when I hit the power, and it kills me how expensive these things are. These 2 preamps that I have were they were $250 when I bought them. Those are now $600 each. No, 300. They're $300. $300 each. Oh, look at this. We're joined by Mikey and Ziggy.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm getting ready to go off the air, and you guys are all showing up at the last minute.
Oh. Well, I'm still.
Hey, Ziggy, what was that you had? Was that a switcher? Yeah, what is that?
His phone.
Oh, that monitor you gave me?
Oh, okay. So you guys missed all the fun. We did an ISS pass. Didn't get too far, but we did an ISS pass. We did some other stuff too. Ape was here. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here at the beginning, which was nice. So what's up, Mikey?
Nothing, just sitting here, still at this 4-letter word. Hopefully you hear me okay.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a tin can underwater, but I can still get it.
Okay.
But Ziggy, what are you up to? You work today, or you been home antennaing?
I did my final testing on that 5-to-1 out in the backfield, and so I'll get that boxed up and shipped back to its owner.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sent me that. I didn't know what it was at first, and I saw the frequency. I said, "Oh, he's on a 17-meter activity group doing this." Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was working. I don't know how, but
yeah. If any of you guys don't know, every day at 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern or 17:30 UTC, there's a 17-meter activity group on 18.1575. And you can get on there and you give out your call sign. You get signal reports from all over the world. We've had people from Hawaii on there, Canada, France. They all get on there and you get to see how your antenna's doing. And I do it from my car most of the time, only because they let me go right away when I do it from my car. They don't make me wait. So Yeah, you should try that out. 1730 UTC. So
Cool.
what you got, Ziggy? Tell us what the latest thing you worked on your YouTube channel.
The latest thing? You talking about what I did this morning?
No, what you got a video coming out on it or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got to make my third and final video for Garth and that really weird 5-to-1. The next antenna somebody's sending me is actually a loop antenna, so I'm excited about that.
Mike's doing a flip here. Mike just completely did a whole 360-degree rotation. That was pretty cool, Mike. Didn't even look like it broke a sweat doing that.
Yeah.
Simone Biles, you're not. A little Olympic humor there since I didn't watch. Anybody watch is it still going on, the Olympics? Did they end that yet?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thanks all for coming by. Glad to have you here, Mike. Next time we'll try to do it when you're not working.
Yeah, unfortunately, my radio money work days have changed. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm stuck at this 4-letter word. But I got to do it so I have my hobby money, you know?
Exactly. When I worked for Verizon, I used to look at it like I hated my job. But then again, I said, but I get to do all this cool stuff. I was a magician. I was a photographer. All those cameras I bought, the lights I bought, I did that with the money I got paid at the phone company. So it was a means to an end. And when they gave me so much money to go away, I will never say a bad thing about Verizon. So yeah. I've been living in Florida. So I've been retired now 14 years and I haven't had to do the 4-letter word yet. So
yeah, I
doesn't mean I won't ever have to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to. I just choose to because after retiring,
right,
I got bored at home. You know, it was like, okay, what I'm going to do? I just find me a little something to keep me busy. So, you know, I put my law enforcement credentials to work, and I do a couple of things here and there, and that's it. You know, just to keep myself busy.
Let's see.
Yeah, I can't see the chats.
Oh, here we go. A good mass, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I might have blown mine up, it says. Not all of them rated to put power through. Well, the way the ICOM 9700 works, as soon as I key my mic, well, first of all, it's only putting out the wattage on the transmit side. The receive side shuts down. So you have two different amplifiers, two different preamps, two different coaxes. So only the one I'm transmitting on gets the power. And the minute I key the mic, it turns off the power to the preamp. So the preamp is not on when I transmit. That's how that works. So no, I'm not blowing up the amp with my power out of my radio because the amp gets shut off as soon as you key the mic. It only turns it on when you're listening on it. So that's a little tip about the 9700. I'm sure if you put 100 watts from any other radio into a preamp that had a separate power supply, could be an issue. But right now, nothing for me. And yeah, they still work. I mean, I could see it on the waterfall. When I turn them on, I could see the noise level jump up and everything. So anyway, boys and girls, well, any girls out there, Pam, where's Pam? I haven't seen Pam on my feed in a long time. Pam Crabtree, where are you? Come back. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you all for coming. Don, thanks a lot for being here. And we'll do it again sometime. I do this every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So feel free to jump on. And I post the link on Twitter. I post the link on Facebook. And where else? I'm also on Twitch. And I'm on some other stuff too. I'm on X.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Don, you take care. Good seeing you. Ziggy, you got anything you want to plug?
Man, no.
Go see his YouTube channel. 75 ohm ham. That's Ziggy. Go find his YouTube channel. Follow and like and subscribe. Hit his bell too. All right, Ziggy, you have a great day. Nice seeing you again.
See you,
Mikey.
Yes, sir.
I saved you for last.
Oh man, I feel special, I guess.
We got to do a POTA together. When are we going to do a POTA?
I got to make a trip down there. You know, with the weather and everything. You know, it's kind of hard this weekend to get out.
Yeah.
I did make it out Saturday, but that was it.
Yeah. There's between you and me, I think we got what's like halfway between Jacksonville and Palm Coast, Ponte Vedra Beach.
Yeah, around there. Well,
That area there, found a park in that area. We can meet up there. So I go halfway, you come halfway back. It'll be fun.
Or, you know, or maybe I'll just take a ride down there to St. Augustine, you know?
That's good, man. You come down to Princess Place Preserve. It's my favorite park. And right now I'm only set up to do QRP. The last week of the month, I'm going up to Wisconsin for a week.
Okay.
You going to Huntsville this year?
Fortunately, I'm not able to make it this year.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, and I did it 3 years in a row, and I liked it. I just wish they'd fix that hotel up. I don't mind paying for the hotel because it's expensive. But man, that place, I woke up the first morning I was there and there was no hot water. And I was like, are you kidding me? What are we living in a tenement in the South Bronx? Get me some hot water. What the heck? I was like, this is crazy.
Brought back memories, huh?
Yeah. I never lived in the South Bronx, but I know what it looked like. Oh my God. I remember when they boarded up all the windows on all the abandoned buildings and painted windows there, like flower boxes in the windows and stuff. They did that back when that was before Giuliani even. That was really early on. But
Koch years, was it?
Yeah, during Koch. Yeah, that's when Ed Beam. Ed Beam was another winner of the mayor. I don't know. That city. I'll never go back there. I have no need to go back to New York City ever.
Well, I only travel back because of family. You know, don't get me wrong. I love New York City, but it's not a place to live. That's all.
Yeah. I knew when COVID came and all these companies shut down and they put all their employees working from home, why would they ever come back and pay that exorbitant rent again, knowing that their company ran fine with all their employees working from home? Like, I mean, New York, you have no idea. I once was offered a job on Pine Street for a financial institution to redo all their telephones and redo all their what do they call them? Their little squawk boxes that they talk to different stockbrokers with. And they offered me the job for $50,000. And they said the hours are 7 to 3, and you might be expected to work late sometimes. So that told me I was going to be working from 7 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night every day. And I'd have people working under me or whatever. I said, nope, keep it. I stayed with the phone company and got a very nice pension. I'm very happy now. But yeah, they were renting out the space. I said, I need another room about 12 foot by 12 foot. They said, you can't have it. I said, why not? Can't afford it. The rent would be too high. They rent by the square foot. It's crazy. Anyway, Mike, thanks for stopping by. Don't be a stranger. Come back
I'll try
often.
not to be a stranger. I'll try not to be late next time.
I'll try to do stuff at more reasonable hours so you're not working.
Well, I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. I'll get in now that I know how I can get in on the phone. It might be a little bit better now.
Sounds good, man. All right, Mike, you have a great night. Nice talking to you.
All right, see you later.
Take care. All right, everybody, that's it for tonight. We did good. We got a lot of people watching. We got 12 people watching right now. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. It was a little longer than I like to go. But hey, good having you here. And now I'm going to go wrestle with IO 117 a little more. Guys, be well. Take care. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, at least not without me. And all I can say is 73. See you soon. I'll be clear.